Welcome to Rhosili on the Gower Peninsula in Wales. The National Trust owns roughly 2,000 hectares of land on Gower, including a large proportion of the Gower coastline, Worm's Head that you can see in the background off my shoulder, and also the farmland landscape which is referred to as the Vale. We're in the middle of a project which has been going for 5 years now, restoring the landscape at Rhosili. There's a mixture of arable and hay meadows, but we've also been introducing a number of boundaries which are important for wildlife to use as places to shelter and corridors for them to move from place to place. We're in one of our fields now. This one's called Priest Hay, and we've introduced an area, fenced off an area to plant up with hedgerow species. We wanted to focus on our native species, which are much more beneficial to the native sort of wildlife that we have here in the area. And also, I think, particularly nice to look at. We've got a selection of different species, so the blossom will come in at different periods over the springtime. Wild cherry, crab apples, blackthorn in bloom is a fantastic sort of visual experience in the spring. So today we're putting in the last few trees of the planting season. We planted about 1,500 trees in this hedgerow and in a few other sort of locations around Gower. And we couldn't have done this work without the volunteers who work so enthusiastically, come rain or shine, and we get a lot of different weather on Gower, that's for certain. In future years they can come back and there'll be a mature hedgerow which will be blooming full of flowers and heavily in fruit in the autumn, and they'll know that they'll have that connection with the work that we've done at this place. Today, as well as planting up a few trees, we're going to be making some habitat piles.
The idea of the habitat piles is we're recycling dead trees and things that have fallen in the storms, and the habitat piles will draw in probably things like slow worms, adders, stoats, and insects, anything that would find them useful. I just want to give back to nature, which is so utterly wonderful, really. It's so good for our mental health, isn't it?
Well, everybody knows the way the countryside has really been abused to an extent, and it's nice to try and do just a little bit to reverse the process. The Gower is one of the special places in this locality, so it's nice to come down and try and give something back to it.
We've come to another field of ours, a hay meadow called Sandylands, and you can see on the boundary we've got a fantastic example of a mature hedgerow which is full of blackthorn, fully out in blossom and looks particularly beautiful. Having a mature hedgerow with this much blossom is really important for pollinators such as bees and hoverflies, and they'll be feeding up and getting ready for the season. There's a buff-tailed bumblebee just at my hand here pollinating, and the native hedgerow species pretty much look after themselves. All we need to do is put in a nice secure fence line to give them a head start against being overgrazed. The wider project that the National Trust are doing on Rhosili is to create a farmland which is diverse in habitats, and the land management decisions that we make are for the benefit of wildlife and nature. We are all acutely aware that wildlife and biodiversity is in decline, and the National Trust recognises that it has an important role to play in providing areas such as this where wildlife can thrive. I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of the work that we were doing here today. It is only thanks to your support that we are able to continue to look after our special places, like here on Rhosili, on the Gower, for our future generations to enjoy.